Hey, it's AJZulu here, and welcome to this small game discussion to Akali's rework. I wanted to do this for quite a long
No one tells me what to
time,
do.
and
Not
do ignore
anymore.
these items, these are just random stuff. But I wanted to do this conversation for quite a long time, but never really got the chance, and so here we are. In any case, uh, before we actually get into the discussion on how to or how I think Akali could be fixed, there's no really one way, and that's where we'll be starting. It's like, what is the theme of Akali, right? Of course she's an assassin, but then what is the gameplay style this assassin should have? As some people like to say that she might have a little bit too much mobility, being like equal if not above Yasuo's mobility with his E, that's very annoying. Or she has a little bit too much damage that can one-shot one too many people at once compared to other assassins that could be seen as annoying, like Zed, where he does have his 1W to be very mobile and his R
I got a pack full of trouble and
shift
nothing
from
but time.
one shadow to another. And here for Akali, it seems that the one biggest thing is, of course, her shadow. So let's first talk about this shadow. It seems okay that
I work alone.
It's only in one spot, and then they did nerf it a little bit so that she turns invisible. I'm not gonna say those specific terms that Riot made for invisibility. I'm just gonna say she's invisible. I think that's the correct term. So she goes invisible, but the shroud itself does not move anywhere, so she's limited in that part compared to another person that might have a more knowing invisibility, like let's say Pike, right? He's able to turn invisible, heal up with his passive, and also get a lot of movement speed to actually run away from his opponents, and they couldn't really catch up to him. The next person to that list would be like Twitch, but he doesn't have as much movement speed, so the enemy could easily still catch up with him, reveal him with that AoE, and take him down. And the last most annoying and the king of all invisibility would be Evelynn, being permanently invisible wherever she goes without using any mana or cooldowns. So in this case with her invisibility, it's simply that she's able to stay in this cloud, and so there's really nothing the enemy could do, and that's the most annoying part. Now we're here, let's tackle it just a little bit. As most other invisibility, if they do go into tower, the tower will reveal them, correct? But in this case, as the other bots, and I will show another clip where I was playing against bots, I couldn't really find a game against an Evelynn, and sadly no friends that face to help test me.
They can't stop me.
Akali with me. But basically when she's under tower, she will still be revealed like this. Like the enemy will see me like this, but I'm still untargetable, right? But they will still see me and my silhouette enough to be able to possibly use AoE spells and skill shots to try to hit me. But because Akali here is still very mobile with W and R, trying to hit your skill shot on an Akali still a little bit difficult. And this is sort of a side tangent a little bit, just trying to question the players who play against her of like, why don't you actually buy scanners? Of course it's not gonna reveal her, but from what I tested before, scanners still would reveal her like this. You will still see her in this fashion, and at the very least, like let's say a support would still be able to reveal her for the for her allies, and then the allies and whichever support is playing or AP mid laner is playing can still throw some, again, skill shots at the Akali, but I just never see that. They just seem to just stand around in front of the Shroud, and Akali is just able to maneuver and take them down whenever she feels like it. Again, not to really blame, because they're of course very good players, they're very high skilled, but it's just a question that I have of like, why is this not a thing? And of course I'll be very happy to see any answers.
Just the way I like it.
in the comment section, of course, since this is a discussion. So time for the solution, and we're still talking about the W here, since I think it's really fascinating. So in any case, instead, and this is talking about diving towers, because of course, if you're outside here fighting and you put down the shroud, okay, stay invisible, the shroud cannot go anywhere, so any scanner or pink wards placed down, like the old version of Akali, is quite annoying to Akali players. But like under tower, and this is why I bring the Ohmwrecker, is that when under tower, I would think it should be fair for the tower to actually reveal you. In the sense of the tower would not attack you like Ohmwrecker would. Like the Ohmwrecker would prevent the tower from attacking you, right? And this is the same thing with the shroud. When you're in the shroud, okay, and I'll try to say it as clear as possible. When you're under the shroud here, the tower will reveal you so that the enemy can target you, but the tower will still not attack you. Okay, but of course, if you do reveal yourself, like attack the enemy and you drag aggro, of course you're no longer invisible. Like if you're visible here and then you're attacking, now of course the tower will attack you. But when you go under shroud, the tower will only reveal you for the enemies to like target you. But of course the tower will still not get attacked, similar to how Ohmwrecker works, stopping the tower from attacking. And this might require some extra coding, but you know, whatever it takes to make like Akali a little bit better and more fair. Because the unfair thing is that you're supposed to be somewhat safe under the tower. It's a universal thing that every player would expect within League of Legends. That's why people seem to complain quite a bit, right?
I got a pack full of trouble and
so because Akali is able to just go in and out within the shadow, do a lot of damage, and then just not have the tower do anything at all to help out, even like the tower has a delay in its auto attack, so any good Akali, which is almost every decent Akali, will be able to just attack and then go invisible before the tower is able to attack her in the first place, just as expected. Okay, so we got the first thing done, how I would think W should be changed. Again, just to elaborate, the tower will reveal Akali to the enemy to be able to target and attack her, but the tower will not attack her. It will only reveal. But of course, if she comes out of the shroud or attacks her, reveal herself, then only then the tower will start attacking, as the old Akali works. Now the next few things that we will talk about in her kit, which I don't think there's too much to say anymore, it's all about numbers, and Riot and much more intelligent people, experienced people will have to do their own testing here. But let's just go through them very quickly, shall we? And so one thing that people might be questioning is how W is just simply a free getaway, or sorry, it's a free energy bar for you, energy recharge. And let's just say that is true, okay? I'm just here with hypotheticals. If this statement is true, how should we fix it? So if W giving you energy back is quote-unquote OP, how should it be changed? On the one hand, proccing your passive on the champion and giving you, so proccing your gear should maybe be able to give you back some energy, and so you're able to fight for a longer duration. In this case, you might have a little bit too much energy at this point, proccing it again and again. Of course, it's not going to be like, let's compare it to Kalista's old E, where if she's able to last hit a minion, right, she'll get all the mana back. But the current E, you lose some of the mana, or you don't get back all of the energy. And maybe it's the same for this new system. So Shroud, maybe it doesn't cost any energy, but it doesn't give you any energy either. And to like properly get energy back, you'll need to be aggressive as an assassin should, to like proc your special auto attack, and then you get some energy back.
Just speed things up.
Some, but not full refund either. On the other hand, now let's go to Q. The strange thing about Q, and it's a good AoE, no doubt about it, to just clear the wave, but it's like, is the slow really required? But on the one hand, again, it's like if you take out the slow, the random slow that Q has, then the auto passive that Akali currently has get. Come back here. Oh well. Let's get a enemy. So this special auto that you get would need to be changed as well.
Depends how I'm feeling.
Because right now it's like you need to put it in the side, miss that here, and then you proc it, and then you get some movement speed, and so this target is currently slowed, you'll be able to catch up quicker. But if there's no slow, then that AoE would need to be changed as well and adjusted.
Who's doing the dying.
It's a give and take in this situation with, and just the general theme with this whole video. This E is such a cool concept that it's like you're able. It's like a Lee Sin
No more meditation or
maybe a slightly stronger in the sense that you're able to dodge and you jump backwards, but then you're able to also quickly jump towards your target at a fast speed.
Well, you aren't much of a
The strange thing here compared to Lee Sin, as an example, is that there's no range limit, as we see a lot of fun, interesting bugs or moments where somebody teleports back, and then we see the Akali just running across the map all the way to the enemy base. That is just absolutely funny. But is that good? But then again, how often is that really used as well? That you're maybe just sitting down here with W still attached to the enemy, and maybe you're just waiting for the energy to recharge before you activate it again? Question mark? Is that how it is? And the last random thing is how you're able to just throw the shuriken and then you quickly run back to your Shroud. How often is this thing used? Question mark. And again, do comment below, since it's a discussion. I'm just asking, like, openly here, of these things that are cool in concept, but then how often is it used for Akali and Akali's kit? Now let's go to her ultimate, because the first R that she gets is a mini stun. As an assassin, do we need this mini stun at all? Is it to just like have that mini stun so you're able to do other things and get your attack off while, like, again, that mini stun where you're able to get an attack off and the enemy is not able to react in time? This could also feel very strange for the enemy as well when fighting against you, that you'll use your R and then they're suddenly not able to do anything at all for that short period of time because they're stunned. And maybe that stun should be removed, but who knows. An interesting side note, and how the second R is also quite powerful, is that it scales based on how low their HP is.
Everyone dies.
The best comparison to this is actually Akali, where it's actually it's the same exact damage percentage wise, but the difference here is that Evelynn's damage does not scale. You actually need the enemy to be lower than 30% before Evelynn's able to get her 200% damage bonus. While Akali here is that if the enemy is lower by starting at 20%, then you get a 7% more damage, and then it max out at 200% if the enemy is lower than, lower than 30%. So it actually scales, so it's very, very interesting how Akali's damage is still quite strong. Now again, if we're gonna take out some of these sort of buffs and damage, then maybe her R does like require or would love to have like a lower cooldown between the first and second version. On the other hand, let's go back to W a little bit. If the Shroud does reveal her, then if she ever dives tower, then she could get a little bit more movement speed, question mark. It's still not quite damage, and you're still technically will be able to attack and fight her back. And she will be revealed. And what you take, you give in something else. And I think I'll just wrap this up, and I'll be very interested to hear what you guys think of this. So first off, we talked about how W should be changed, where the tower will reveal her to the enemy to be able to target her, but will not attack her until Akali actually attacks. instead of the W Shroud giving her energy back when it's supposed to be like either a defensive option or more offensive option. Let's also think about this a little bit. It's offensive since you're using it to get energy to attack, but then it's a little bit defensive since you're also invisible and they cannot attack you.
They can't stop me.
And so it does like two things either too well. So it could be like either defensive and offensive. But anyways, W does not give you energy, but instead you proccing your special auto attack passive is the one that will.
Nice try.
Like so.
Heads up.
Whatever. And Q doesn't need the slow, and because the energy might be lowered, it might not cost as much energy. E does the second cast need like a limited distance similar to Lee Sin,
I just speed things
or
up.
is it like just okay having it super long range? Is its interaction with the Shroud, where you can just throw it into the Shroud and then jump back to it, is that a system that is used often enough?
Don't waste the
or
anger.
Something that people actually use as a strategy? Because even though it might not do so much damage, it's still an extra mobility option for Akali, which again, her mobility is seen as too strong.
Or kunai.
And lastly, for
Depends
R, her
how I'm
first
feeling.
R gives her a stun, and is that something that is good? Or should it also be changed instead of just this AoE and skill shot?
It's not about the killing. It's
Should
about
it
who's
go
doing
back
the
to
dying.
its older version? Not her entire kit going to the older version, but just the R going back to its older version where it's only targeted and could only be used as an offensive ability. Currently,
more
it
meditation
could also
or
be used
masters.
as defensive in the sense of you are currently running away and then you just dash over here and then you dash again, then you dash another time and you're like already jumping through
So many
4
enemies, so
or
many
5
knives.
or just now 3 cliffs. So that's all I have to say about Akali. Again, I'm not a Akali expert, just want to talk about her, and I find
The words on their
the
tombstone.
rework very interesting,
Mantras.
and that there's always a way to rework things, the same way that I did with the Zoe talks. There's always a way to fix and rework and balance champions. And I look forward to hearing your comments down below, and I hope to see you all next time. Bye for now.